Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be reviewing the battery grip for the Nikon D3100 and D5100 with semi-decoding. It's sold by Crazy Card on Amazon for about 35 bucks. I think I got mine for 30 about 6 months ago. So this is a battery grip that obviously offers the capability of having two batteries in the camera at once, and you can use aftermarket batteries with the battery grip. If you try and use an aftermarket battery in the camera without a battery grip, it'll just throw up an error message and the camera will not work at all. So it's a nice thing to have if you want to use batteries that are about a quarter the price of OEM. Another cool thing about it is, of course, it has a vertical shutter release. So if you're trying to take portraits, it's a lot easier than flipping your camera up like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't have like extra buttons for the focus point selector, but the camera's pretty small, so you can reach your thumb over. And then the coolest thing about this camera is it has an IR shutter release. So they provide a remote with the grip, and you can remotely fire the shutter as long as you're kind of in front of the camera. It's great for portraits, self-portraits obviously, and long exposure stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with the bulb mode of the camera, at least it hasn't worked for me. So you can't go longer than the 30-second exposure that the camera automatically does. But it's definitely a nice thing to have. So it just attaches via the tripod mount, and it's a pretty solid connection. No like shaking or anything. It's on there very tight, and you just have to pop out the battery door to slide it in there, and then it comes with the cord for using the shutter release, the vertical and the IR, that plugs into the GPS port of your camera. So you can't use the GPS unit while you're using the battery grip. It's not a big deal though, you can always switch it off, take it off whenever you want. The build quality, it's definitely a Chinese product. They used pretty cheap plastics. It kind of matches the finish of the D3100, but it's not the same thickness of plastic, so it's kind of cheap. I mean, but it hasn't cracked or broken or scratched really at all on mine, so it still looks pretty much like the day I bought it. It's a little bit chunky feeling in the hand. It's definitely kind of big. I don't really love the way it feels in my hand, but it's nice to have that vertical feature nonetheless. Definitely is a little bit more convenient than flipping your hand over. And then the reason I bought it was purely for that IR shutter release, and that's just been working perfectly for me. Other than that, it's a good product. If you want one with the rubber grip, it won't have the IR release, so if that's important to you, then you know, I've never felt the one with the rubber grip. I've heard the plastic's pretty much the same as this, so it's not going to be much different, but definitely look into it if you want that. Most people tell you, you don't really need a battery grip on a lower end camera like this, but just for that IR feature alone, I think this one was pretty worth it, especially for 30 bucks. And I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Definitely, if you have the money, invest in something like a lens or a flash or something before you invest in a battery grip. But if you want quarter price batteries, which will save you a lot more money in the future, and you want the feature that Nikon should have put in, which is the IR release on your camera, then this is definitely a good investment, and for 30 bucks, why not? So that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much, and see you later.